Children, have you ever met the bogeyman before? No, of course you haven't, for you're much too good, I'm sure. Don't you be afraid of him if he should visit you. He's a great big coward, so I'll tell you what to do. Hush, 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 here comes the bogeyman.
Keep it intact and just keep using it over and over again. You know, the brain's...
It's like a sponge.
It's like a sponge. You just use someone else's brain that you've taken out of their skull. Oh, hello.
Yeah, welcome.
Didn't see you there. Welcome to It Hails from the Crypt. I'm the host, Fred Schroeder, and my co-host is...
Tim Loughran, also a co-host. But I said that. We just saw... You're the host, and I'm the host.
I just said co-hosts. We're both co-hosts, technically. And we're here to talk about...
Are you trying to get more money out of this than me?
Yeah, I get the hosting fees.
Are you the president and I'm the vice president?
We're both vice presidents. We're both Vance and Pence is the ticket. Anyway, we are here to talk about all things Tales from the Crypt related, from the comics to the TV show to the movies and beyond, the Christmas albums, everything related to Tales from the Crypt, game shows, and we're on episode 5, Lover, Come Hack to Me.
To me. This is a pun. I'm thinking this is itself a pun.
That is true. It's pun from the word go, which is what the Crypt Keeper and EC Comics are known for. But this originally appeared in the Haunt of Fear number 19 and was adapted by writer Michael McDowell and director Tom Holland, starring Amanda Plummer and Stephen Shellen.
And he's fun. We'll get to him and when we talked about the episode, but we can always start talking about his hair at any point.
Right. The hair is mostly what this episode is about, I feel like. Partially. So based on this Vault of Horror segment from the Haunt of Fear number 19, another Yelp yarn, as the Vault Keeper says, drawn by the great George Evans and written by Al Feldstein, who wrote most of the EC comic horror stories.
Has George Evans drawn one of the ones we've reviewed so far, or is this the first George for us?
He hasn't. This is the first George we've encountered. If you notice what's on the first page, you can see his name written into the car, and that was a rare thing for comic books in the golden age. Was a lot of times people would not be credited, but EC made sure to credit their artist as often as possible. They even did little biographies of their artists and had their fans of the EC Addict Club would vote for their favorite artist routinely.
That's awesome.
George was born in 1920. He fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He was a huge into aircraft and wanted to get into the Air Force, but he had these like Coke bottle sized glasses, and so his eyesight prevented him from doing that. So he ended up, I believe, in the infantry and fought in one of the worst battles of World War II. Yeah. And then was one of the last artists to join EC Comics. He did a lot of work for Fawcett, who was known for Captain Marvel. You know, the guy that says Shazam.
Shazam.
Yes. Billy Batson, a child, would then grow into a giant superhero. This is a little questionable, but
it's like big.
Yes. So DC Comics sued Fawcett for copyright infringement and said that Captain Marvel was a ripoff of Superman, and that went through the courts for about 10 years. In the tail end of it, George was like, I think this company might declare bankruptcy because the lawsuit is about to be over and then their business is going to be gone. He went to Fawcett. He said, because they were very nice people. And I said, should I look for another job? They're like, yes, we're going to lose this lawsuit. And go look for another job.
No.
And so fortunately he got a job with EC Comics. He was apparently known as just the nicest guy. Some of the younger artists at EC had toured comic book studios as teenagers and said he was the nicest guy to them, to these young kids. And so they really rallied for him to get a job at
that's awesome.
EC Comics. And one of those people was Frank Frazetta and Al Williamson. And they went on to really help him get jobs throughout his career just because he was known as like the nicest guy. Everyone would want to like help him out. So a lot of goodwill towards George.
I like that. You catch more flies with honey. I'm that type of person. I like being nice to everyone, and so I really appreciate those. The nice people never get like their due in court, like people don't appreciate the nice people enough.
It's true. And Bill Gaines, the editor-in-chief of EC, had this quote about him. George was a sweet, lovable guy, quiet and gentlemanly. He could do the most ghastly stuff in the crime and shock books. This sweet little fella looked like an accountant, and you would never dream that this man was capable of such brilliant depictions of brutality we called upon him for. So
it tends to be the quiet ones too, doesn't it?
It's the quiet nice ones. And speaking of the quiet ones, we have our couple.
Yes, who aren't quiet, really.
Yes. Peggy and what's the guy's name?
Charles. I think he's Charles, right?
Yeah, Charlie? And Peggy. Now, George was not particularly fond of doing horror stuff or superhero stuff. He really liked to do airplane stuff and like went on to do strips about fighter jets, and Aces High was a thing that EC also did. And he did a lot of war comics. He did a story that's pretty famous called Yellow that was adapted.
Oh, that will be adapted coming up. Yeah. So that's like Two-Fisted Tales, right? Is that what one of those? Two-Fisted Tales? Yeah.
Yes. He did a lot of like Two-Fisted Tales and a lot of the war comics. And so you can see he spends a lot of time on this house and the details on the car. Again, I want to shout out to Marie Severin, who did the colors. She was the only woman who worked at EC Comics and did all the colors for all the comics. And I think does like a great job, like really subtle highlights, with the rain and darkness and stuff. So
yeah,
let's get into it. So this is the first time you've read this comic. What were your thoughts on it?
I liked it. Again, it like moves, I think what's so fun about these comics that they adapt into an episode is it's like a solid, like they're all like 7 pages long, and they kind of get to the point, and you can kind of have fun with a lot of the dialogue and stuff because it is like we got to get to the point really quick and say the thing, but it kind of is endearing, and I like it, like how she gives us a rundown of what happened to her mom and dad pretty much off the bat. Like, my mom died in childbirth, and my husband died before I was born, or my dad died before I was born, and it's kind of like, of course we talk about this type of stuff on our honeymoon, right? We rehash this.
It's a very weird story, though. It's almost a science fiction story because there is a time travel element to it. I mean, I guess he's looking at ghosts, but also,
yes, I am feeling it's sort of like a residual haunt.
Yes, there's like, he sees what happened. The main thing that I think is different from the other stories we've encountered is usually the guy or the person who gets killed deserves it. He's done something bad.
Yes.
And that's one of the big adjustments they make from adapting this to the screen is they give him a corrupted motivation. But in this comic, he's just a nice guy who's married this lady who happens to be nuts, following in her mother's footsteps of having to kill.
Although you wouldn't know because she's obviously very over the moon with this guy, and it seems mutual. That's why it's such when we get to the episode, it's a bit of a departure from her character as portrayed by Amanda Plummer. They kind of give us a little bit of the exposition here, and then we hear about Aunt Frida, who is not in the comic, but will make an appearance in the adaptation.
This is one, I think we talked the last episode that we liked the original comic story better than the adaptation.
Right.
And I think this is one where I think actually what Michael McDowell added to the script really expanded this.
Works.
And adds a lot to it of a pretty slim sliver of a story that's just is really very weird. It's just a very weird story of, this couple finds a random house that they're caught in the rainstorm after they've been, but it's the same house that their parents, they spend the night. And let's talk about this because
yes, I have thoughts.
EC Comics famously pre-code comics, so no oversight, and really these comics were the reason why they imposed parental sort of oversight and the comics code happened. And this one in particular, I've read a lot of EC Comics and other horror comics. This is pretty explicit for
50s.
For 50s comic that's ostensibly being bought by kids off a newsstand.
Yeah.
When you think about what was on television at the time where they couldn't even show, Lucy and her husband in the same bed together. They had to be in separate beds. And in this one, they are looking for the bedroom.
Yeah. And they're in love. Like they both want it. They're like, he picks her up, which is, like I'll bring you over the threshold of the house. And, they see that there's furniture that's covered because this is an old house, but Peggy's like, then there must be a bedroom and ... a bed.
Yeah. The innuendo is pretty thin. I'm going to go to page, 4. And this writing is pretty risque, I would say, for the time. Outside, the storm lashed at the old house, but within, the newlyweds were oblivious to its fury, wearing only the pounding of their hearts as they walked together to the huge bed. And then we discreetly cut away
to the outside.
The fire crackled and leaped, licking at the logs. The storm seemed to increase its intensity, raging and whipping the ancient edifice. Between yellowed and musty sheets, Charles and Peggy were close, feeling the increasing intensity of their own emotional storm. Wow.
And then the storms faded, spending themselves.
Wow.
Spending themselves. The fire cooled, sleep and peace descended. That is how you get past some censors in 1953. Is like, we're just going to talk about this storm.
There were no censors.
Right, exactly.
There was no censors. So this was pretty, you could not get this past the censors after the comics code. You could not even have them in a bed together. This is like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, licking at the logs is said. Licking at the logs.
Al Feldstein is doing some heavy lifting here. And you can see why maybe HBO decided to adapt this particular one and be like, it's not TV, it's HBO, because we can.
And we'll get to that part when we get to that part.
Yeah, because we can throw in a lot of that stuff. So, in the comic, then he wakes up. The sheets are white. Here is one of the things that I think is stronger in the comic than in the TV show. And I think it's a budgetary reason. It's much easier to draw a background that's now all perfect and new. And in the TV show, they can't really do that. They just leave it. They did all the work to make it look dilapidated, and I don't think they could afford to do a do-over of the whole set, basically.
But Fred, you are forgetting one of my favorite panels that happens before they consummate the relationship. Is when they walk into this place. I feel like this would be a Norm Macdonald delivery, but like Charles does say, "Hey, look at that battle axe over there on the mantle." They're just like, "Look at that! That's just a battle axe hanging on the mantle." Okay, let's go to bed.
True. And that they do make reference to that in the
We gotta set that up.
show.
Yeah.
They set that up. They got to set up the axe, which comes into play. He wakes up. He's suddenly in the past. I love the old car that pulls up that he references by name. That no one now. It would be like one of us today saying, "Hey, look, it's a Ford Festiva pulling up," or something.
It must be the 80s, early 80s.
Yes, I don't know what the modern equivalent to be, but this is a car from the 20s.
Yeah, but Peggy's gone.
Peggy's gone.
But
or is she?
Yeah, it's a LaSalle.
Yes, a LaSalle.
A LaSalle.
Alan Anderson. Why did that name sound familiar? Charles crossed the bedroom and went to the head. And he sees this couple and he watches them get ready. Oh, he realizes immediately that it's Peggy's parents.
Mm-hmm. He puts it 2 and 2 together.
And he just kind of keeps watching like a creep through the rest of the.
Yes.
He really looks, especially in the second to the last panel on page 5, with his half face, kind of with his eye looking,
creeping on her. Why am I seeing all of this?
To the bed that Charles had awakened in. He turned away, listening to their heavy breathing and their soft voices whispering, "What is this all about? Why am I seeing this? What's the reason?" Embarrassed by the intimacy of the scene beyond. This is pretty risque stuff again.
Yeah. I like how he just stares at the blank door until their soft whispers and fade and their gasps and sighs turn to the regular breathing of slumber. That's a lot. They're just staring at the door, just going like, what has become of me? What am I?
And then on the next page, finally, the axe, the Chekhov's axe comes into play. I really love George Evans' rendering of the mom.
I saved this image.
She looks terrifying.
She has a crazy face. She got crazy eyes here.
She has crazy eyes for every panel. She looks totally insane.
Yeah.
Until finally that second to last panel, I think that's our best view of Frida. And that's when he realizes she's like a ghost. And
he can't touch her. He can't stop this chaos because like there's the image of her husband sleeping in bed, just like head cocked back, like as she goes in for the kill.
Yeah, and then the last page, I love that first panel of the last page where she's in red with this yellow rim, just hacking away at her new husband. She's mad. Absolutely mad, I tell you. This is the secret Peggy's aunt kept from her all these years. Or did she? Did she keep it from her?
This poor guy. Just like he just wanted to find love. He didn't expect this to happen.
And then he gets axed. His face on the what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth panel is something else too. That is some
utter
expression.
surprise, eyes are bulging, and the battle axe. The battle axe over the fireplace is gone. Yeah, it gets to the chase here, and that's it. We don't see
the gore or anything. We do find out that a child this night who would murder her husband on her wedding night as her insane grandmother, an insane mother. So this is the third lady that's done this. You would think they would have kept her away from men.
It just keeps it coming. It's the cycle. It's the circle of life, really, or death, I guess.
Circle
in this case, circle of death. I would like to point out in the panel where Peggy's mom is red faced and he's saying that she's absolutely mad. The descriptor of the narrator saying all Charles could do was watch horrified as Frida lifted the huge battle axe again and again until the figure on the bed became a soft, wet red mash. Did you read that already? Because I feel like I need to read that again because soft, wet red mash.
Al Felstein's writing is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this comic. He really is going all out with the descriptions, because I think Evans is a little restrained. His expressions are great and gory, but everything's kind of off screen with the artwork. We don't really see the axe connecting ever, and we don't actually see the copulation. But
although it's juicy, it's almost like a romantasy, like it's all the rage now.
Oh, yeah.
The romantasies.
True. The Court of Thorn and Roses.
I haven't read any, but I heard that it gets a little saucy in the writing. So this, like, maybe it owes a lot of its current popularity to what our buddy here did in this writing.
Yeah, I think the case can be made that Al Felstein is the father of romantasy with this tale.
Let's talk to Rebecca Yaros. Figure this out.
Then we go into the Vault Keeper's outro. Do you want to hit some of his puns here? His puntastic.
Talk about family tradition, eh, creeps? All you would-be grooms, take a lesson. Check the bride's background. It's better to have a battle axe for a mother-in-law than to have one for an undertaker. And then he kicks it back to the old witch.
I love how he always just like bags on the old witch.
Yeah, calls her a slop server in this one.
That cauldron chrome, that bag of hag, the old witch. Take it away, slop server. Jeez.
I do like that for the adaptation, though, they get that battle axe for a mother-in-law joke into the adaptation, which we'll get to when we talk about the episode.
Do you have any last thoughts on the comic, or you want to get into the...
No, I just thought it was sad that it's like everyone seemed they were in love, and it was just like, these women be crazy. And this is a tradition of these women be crazy. And
it is a departure in that it's not someone getting their comeuppance with this episode.
I guess it's kind of like a mantis, like a praying mantis, right? Like they still they get what they need, which is like, I now have a child inside me, a mantis child. I can now behead the mantis. It's kind of like that. But there's no other motivation. That she does say in this one that it's all about preserving sort of this one moment of love, because it all goes downhill in marriage after this, apparently. It's always doomed to, I guess.
Pretty dark view. Yeah.
I guess they hadn't really invented couples therapy by this point. I don't know. We could have hashed this out.
Well, they did, because what's interesting is after the EC Comics got all their horror comics shut down, one of the big comics they launched was a comic called Psychoanalysis. That was just about people going to a psychiatrist, an unnamed psychiatrist, every issue, and describing their problems and him helping them work through it. And some of it was couples problems and stuff. So that was that was surprisingly not successful with the kiddies. No one wanted to pick up the Psychoanalysis.
Yeah. Did the HBO show In Treatment adapt that that title just as it did Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah, exactly.
Gabriel Byrne, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about HBO. Crypt Keeper is pretty low key. I don't even think there was any memorable Crypt Keeper puns for me that of note to open up this episode. But he does call it honeymoon hell in his sort of preamble, which he's setting the table for us that it's we're at the honeymoon. And then we've got a cool cast of players here, I think. You want to run down the list of who we got contributing to the writing, the directing, and I think Amanda Plummer deserves a big old high five for being the right amount of crazy. By this point, she's already won a Tony, I think. In real life.
She is fantastic in this. I mean, I think the big shout outs are Tom Holland, who had directed Child's Play.
Yeah, he wrote Psycho 2 and wrote Cloak and Dagger, other movies that are like I just adore. He wrote Class of 1984, which has a very young Michael Fox in it as well. Yeah.
And Michael McDowell, who was a novelist but also screenwriter, famously wrote Beetlejuice and Nightmare Before Christmas. Was really good friends with the Kings, Stephen and Tabitha King, and died early from AIDS complications, unfortunately. And his final novel was actually finished by Tabitha King, Stephen
that's
King's
awesome.
wife, and released posthumously.
Yeah, and I saw that he did a bunch of Tales from the Dark Side episodes too, I think. And he wrote the novelization of the movie Clue.
Yes. He lived in Los Angeles, but I think he has a real Southern humor aspect to his writing,
Southern
and
Gothic,
his voice. Yeah, Southern Gothic, but with like a lot of humor to it. So sort of a perfect fit for Tales from the Crypt, I think. To adapt this, and he. Again, we're just to compare it to the last episode. I don't want to dump too much on the last episode, but the difference in the direction by Tom Holland versus Deutsch is tremendous. Like this, at this time, Tom Holland had done Fright Night and Child's Play.
Yeah,
he has really great horror chops, and you can see in his camera movement how he set everything up.
Yeah.
Like this is a very well-directed episode.
I was going to say, I didn't know just about Tom Holland. I didn't know that he was an actor before he got into writing. He was like in a bunch of like TV shows and stuff. And I didn't even, did you hear the weird fun fact about Fright Night 3?
Oh, okay. What is it?
This is like, so after Fright Night 2 was released without Holland's involvement, Tom Holland and apparently Roddy McDowell, who played the horror host that kind of helps fight vampires, they were talking about a third film, right? And I guess McDowell set up a meeting with Jose Menendez, the head of Carolco Pictures subsidiary Live Entertainment, who they had acquired the rights to the Fright Night movies. And they were about to take a meeting, but right before that happened, Menendez and his wife were murdered by their sons, Lyle and Eric Menendez.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? They are responsible for not getting Fright Night 3 made, which I thought is bonkers.
And that's the greatest tragedy of them all.
Exactly.
So we never got a Fright Night 3.
Sorry. I just felt like I needed to say that before. It's like, what could have had that?
I highly recommend that the show about the American with.
They must have cut that scene from that show.
Yes. Also, they appear in a basketball.
A basketball card. I think, is it Mark Williams?
Yeah, Mark Williams card. Yeah. Because they were sitting in the front row. I think after they killed their parents, like
oh my gosh, I know that's immortalized too. To put that up on the socials.
Creepy.
Who thought we'd be talking about the Menendez brothers' murder on this episode?
It all fits.
I mean, I think it was fate. It was fate. But we were talking about Tom Holland's direction, and I totally interrupted you for this. Sidebar.
That was a great sidebar. We should get more of that, but. I don't know. He really gets the tone of Tales from the Crypt. Also, I think McDowell's change of the motivation, making Charles a gold digger of a husband, is a great choice and sets him up to be the guy who gets his just desserts and comeuppance, as is, the point of Tales from the Crypt.
There's some good comedy in this too, I'd say too. There's moments that I laughed out loud.
What made you laugh?
Well, we'll have to go through it, but when you get to the end and he
yes, I agree with that. I agree.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Funny. Yeah.
It gets pretty funny. I mean, he makes the old battle axe joke when they walk into when she different than the. We'll start from the beginning. they get married. We have the quintessential cans on the car to like show us that these two were married.
But we also have the Aunt Edith, who is trying to warn them about
trying to thwart this marriage.
Marriage, but more for the reason that she thinks he's a bad guy. Like that's what is set up as like he's just after your money. He doesn't really love you. Blah blah blah. And then he kind of says like, you know, you can stick it, Aunt Edith, and gets in the car and drives away. And there's a little pan over to Edith, and she has a wry smile, as if
she has a smile.
I know it's really going to go on, which makes me question why she was even trying to stop it to begin with. Maybe I
think that's for us, the audience, you know.
True.
To throw us in the wrong direction, but.
Success.
Maybe it is about like, are you sure you want to pick this guy to be the
yeah,
seed?
That's what I was thinking. Because the whole point is like, it's supposed to be the perfect moment that she, you know, captures by axing him to death, by hacking him to death.
Yeah.
And that maybe Peggy's like, well, this isn't going to be so perfect because he's just after your money or whatever.
Right. And obviously the ruse also is Peggy is very timid and shy. And like, we could talk a little bit about Amanda Plummer because
she is fantastic. What a great actor, Amanda Plummer, because
she comes from acting royalty. Christopher Plummer is her dad.
Yeah. Chris Plummer from, Star Trek V, The Undiscovered Country.
He was in other things.
No, he was in that Cosby Show episode where they explained Shakespeare to Cockroach and Theo. Great actor. Anyway, she is terrific because she plays. It's really like 3 roles in this short, episode. She's playing the timid version of Peggy, the murderous version of Peggy, also like the murderous kind of sultry. She transforms at one point. There's a costume change that happens similar to last episode. And then she plays her mom in the 50s, right? In the flashback.
Yeah. She plays the fully realized Peggy after she's gotten what she wants. And then she's in Black Widow, mantis mode.
Yes. So a lot of heavy lifting acting wise, a lot of moments that she has to do. And she does it really effortlessly. You just believe her the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, Amanda Plummer. I wish there was more of her to see. Like, I wish she had done more stuff. She'd spent a lot of time on the stage. You know, she's won like two Tonys and has been nominated. So I think all of her major work was done on the stage. Unfortunately, if you weren't, living in Broadway or, in New York, you couldn't see that.
She does have a few choice standouts for me as a massive Tim Roth fan, as a fellow Tim Roth of in this world. She was his like Denny's robbing partner in Pulp Fiction in the opening and closing. Honey Bunny
is the memorable sort of like freeze frame at the beginning of Pulp Fiction. Connected to this, she was in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
She would go on as like to get typecast in So I Married an Axe Murderer as, spoiler alert, the Axe Murderer, which obviously this is how she got the role.
Yes, right? Perfect.
Because this happened like a couple years before then.
Yes. So she was so good in this. They're like, who else could we cast to play the Axe Murderer against Mike Myers?
There is no one else.
There is no one.
It is all
else.
Plummer.
And then I wasn't really familiar with Stephen Shellen before this, before rewatching this episode. I didn't recognize him immediately. I did notice his mullet, like immediately, his hairstyle and his build. He's got massive shoulders and really he reminds me of like a scheming Fabio. He looked like Fabio to me in this.
Yes.
Like that was the in the description
with an accent that was not Fabio.
Yes. And he plays up being the the gold digging husband, I think, pretty well. Like he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
with it.
I actually thought he was a lot of fun. He was a lot of fun in this because he just plays off her like timidness and almost overcorrects in so many amazing ways, like saying things like "You're always scared, Peggy," just things like that.
Yeah, he's
just
great.
like,
he's great.
Here's true love.
Yeah, so they leave the chapel, which looks like somebody's house that they've just put a sign in front of.
Yep.
Then they end up in the rain, and the road is
stalled.
Well, there's a tree.
Yeah,
in the comic, the car is stalled, but this is another change that I think is better. Is a tree has been fallen, which Peggy says must have been the lightning, and I think at the end of the episode you realize, oh, she set this up. Like she cut the tree. He gets out of the car to try to move the tree in the rain. She steals the key. He comes back and it's like, where's the car key? Oh, you must have lost it outside.
Yeah. She plays it really good.
Yeah. So I think the writing has really set up all this stuff really well.
And he's so erratic, you almost believe like, wait, did he take the key? Because he's already just like, I just want to get on and murder this person and get all their money.
You don't question any of that stuff. You also don't question like the gun that suddenly appears in the glove box. Yeah. Did you leave that there?
He's like, is that yours?
What? Huh? Where'd this gun come from?
Which is like, at that point, she's like, oh, this, I got to get out ahead of this guy too, because now he's shown his cards or shown his gun in a way. We'll see the other gun later, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Guns. I'm making a penis reference. So we get to the house. Well, it's just revealed there. The house is behind the tree.
Hey, look, there's a house here.
Hey, there happens to be a mansion here.
And he's about to break into the house because, what do you want us to freeze to death out here, Peggy? And then she conveniently, I found the key, which she knew was there all along.
Great old-timey key looking. It looks like an old-timey key.
Great production design on the key, but also great setup by, again, I think this is all stuff that has improved the original comic, or all these little touches in the episode. This is an example of like how you flesh one of these things out. I think they did a great job.
and bring something new to it when you modernize it from after being on the shelf for 30 years. And and she says like, carry me over the threshold. She has to beg him, and then he's like a strong guy, but I think he like struggles to like pick her up. She's like just like a wafer.
I know, but his reaction is like, okay, fine. He's like,
fine, I'll do this.
He really is over it.
Yeah. He's just trying to get onto the murder and insurance part. But we get in and we see this house is dead animals on the wall equals spooky.
True. Peeling wallpaper.
And then wallpaper's falling apart, like really falling apart. And then he makes the old battle axe. Hey, there's just an old battle axe over there sitting on the wall. It makes a joke about the old battle axe. I also love it how he says things like "yes, dear" during this sequence. Like he's just like, "Yes, dear."
Yeah, he does a lot of good work. I wonder, because there's a lot of Canadians in this episode, if they shot this in Canada. Was this a Canadian?
This could have been
tax break
if Tom Holland was
situation.
Yeah, it feels like it could have been shot in Vancouver.
I hadn't seen this actor a lot, and I really enjoy him. And now I'm gonna seek out. I did play back in the day Deus Ex, and he played the your boss, basically the tech guru in that game, who's sort of not good or bad, but in between. And I think this is a tangent that we're going on. This is a journey.
Tangent away.
I think Elon Musk also played that game a lot when he was around in the 90s. And I think that game influenced him unduly, and particularly that character that Steven plays.
Oh dear.
Has influenced him.
Like what?
Well, I think Elon thinks he's like trying to save the world, like, which is what this technocrat in the game also believes. And the game is all about combining AI with humans, like it's fusing technology. That's what you are as the main
Yeah.
character of the game. And I think like Neuralink, his company is very much like
just about to say Neuralink. Yeah.
Inspired by, hey, I played this cool Deus Ex game in the 90s and I want to make that happen. It's like he took all the wrong lessons from like Neuromancer and Deus Ex and all these things and implied them to becoming an evil genius, not a genius, but an evil trillionaire now. So
you're positing that this actor influenced the world we live in today.
Yes, I think so. In his role in Deus Ex, I think has an undue influence.
I like it
on the way the world
I am
works.
sold.
Yes. Okay, so we finally get
to the couch.
Get to the couch. Well, she sort of has her breaking point where she's like, "Oh, you hate me, and like you did just marry me," and he's like, "Oh no, I loved you, baby. See, I know. Come on, baby."
I think he does an eye roll too.
Yeah,
he does. Like, he does an eye roll.
On.
It's not subtle.
You know I love you, baby. And comes back.
Yeah, he like overcorrects and comes on strong now.
Yeah, and then it's just a beat. Oh, we forgot. Like there is, some nudity by this actor. Which is
we do see butt.
Yeah,
don't we?
we see some butt in this. Some HBO, some HBO action, and she says,
that's just the tip of the iceberg. What we're going to get into. We. Oh boy!
So then she's like, "We don't want to do it on the couch. This isn't perfect. Let's find a bed." And then suddenly they find like 1 billion candles, and it's suddenly
like we're talking
a lot.
We're getting into some silk stockings territory right now. We're getting into like Red Shoe Diaries. We're getting into all of it.
Yeah, I feel like half of this is a Cinemax Showtime show. Maybe it's the inspiration for all that stuff. So she then
I think you might be right.
Has her transformation. We could do a side by side on the Leah Thompson dress up scene and this dress up scene, and show how what a difference a director like Tom Holland makes compared to a goofy montage. So she comes out, totally turns it up, is va va voom,
sexy Peggy with music. I think there is like sexy music that comes with it.
Yes.
There is a moment while she's getting ready where I think he's prepping and saying out loud, like, "I love you." And then he's like, and he says it like, "And your bank account." Like, no. She thinks she probably heard him, and the other, like, he does not say it to himself. He says it loud enough that I'm sure there might be a stop while she's applying the lipstick to be like, "What the motherfucker?"
Yeah, not subtle at all.
Guys out there.
Not subtle at all. There's a little bit, I was watching him, I was like, he's kind of got like a Treat Williams quality to him, too. He kind of reminds me of some of Treat Williams' comedy roles.
Yeah, because you've only got 30 minutes, so you have to kind of like hyper elevate some of these characters sometimes to just get the point of this sort of comic across. And I think he would be a solid definition of like a blowhard, or just like like just a blowhard,
Yeah. You are rooting against him the entire time, for sure.
Yeah.
He plays a great.
You hope he gets his just desserts.
Yeah, he plays a good WWE heel in this. Like, it's that level. So then there is an extended sex scene.
Extended.
I should point out this is the longest of the episodes we've covered. It goes the full 29 minutes for its running time.
Oh, really?
Where most of the other episodes are 22 or 24. And I think the majority of that...
I think 24 minutes is the sex scene.
Yes. I think the majority of that is this prolonged sex scene. I think they wanted to make sure
grunting
that and screams. There's genuinely
screams. I think does he yell out here, "You really are a virgin"? I think he yells that during the sex scene.
He does. It's not subtle. HBO really wanted to get their subscriber base nailed in with this episode.
Nailed in. Clock ringing. clock ringing, a clock that I think breaks on orgasm. Like upon the orgasm, the clock breaks.
Yes, another
signifying
great directorial touch.
A new child is being produced.
Yes. Well, that's when time stops too, right? So that's when the ghosts come back after that. Grandfather clock.
That's a good point because
is shattered.
There was a moment when they're walking up the stairs and he says like, what's with the clock? I think he says like, he goes like, why is that clock ticking? He says that line.
Goes, it relaxes me because she had backed into it and made it start going when she sees the axe, I think. And that maybe is,
you're right,
is the clock ticking to signify like now the events we've crossed the point of no return, and the thing that happens over and over again apparently is about to happen.
Yeah. And before the flashback begins, she's very, we made a child. I know we did. This is now official. We made a child and it's as perfect as it'll ever get, and then
that's her motivation. Yeah. Then they go to sleep.
I was also noticing on the Charles, does he have a tattoo of a heart on his chest that has like instead of a knife through it, a gun? Like
I did not notice that.
I need to take another look at it, but I wrote it down, and it's the I don't know if it's the quality of the transfer. I was like, I had to squint, but it kind of looked like a heart, but instead of a knife piercing it, it's a gun.
This would benefit from a nice 4K upgrade at some point. So. Whoever is in charge of that, please get on it. Anyway, this is where I think the comic book shines a little bit more than the TV show. I wish they had it. I think it would have been more impactful if he had woken up and the whole house is like back to 50s pristine.
Yeah.
It would have made it
fresh house
a little, I don't know, a little more eerie and strange, but that's probably an extra, probably would have doubled the budget on making this episode to just do that.
Yeah. And they have like a 1950s car, but again, it's like classic cars were had in that era. So you're kind of wondering what's going on. A little mystery here because you don't know right off the bat that it's like a different time period. She's got like a flower dress and like kind of like 60s hair.
He's kind of got greaser hair, I guess. I was trying to, at first I was like, is this the same guy? Is this the same actor or is this a different guy?
Yeah.
It's a different guy. They come in, the same thing happens, and then we get a lot of monologuing by Charles here as he's watching what's happening.
He does say, Peggy's father was named Alan. He does say
first
that.
He's like, oh, she said she lied to me. She said, and he's like,
oh yeah, he's getting jealous here too.
Jealous, and then he remembers, wait, what am I jealous for? I'm gonna kill her anyway. But he's saying it all out loud. It's very Looney Tunes, like, Sylvester the Cat kind of reaction to all this stuff.
Like Troll 2, they killed her, and now they're going to kill me.
Oh my God. Yeah. And so there's a lot of that going on. He then realizes who they are. Oh, that's their parents. And then the axe comes out and the murder, he tries to stop the murder and just kind of, it's a very cheap ghost effect of him.
Yes, it's very
walking
like
through
80s
and not being able. Yeah,
whoosh, miss, and she still continues to hack at Alan on the couch.
But she made sure that Alan. She says, "Wake up, Alan! I want you to see me murder you."
Yes,
that's a nice little horrific touch, and there is a lot of blood.
And she kisses him, gets a little blood on her, after she kisses him.
Pretty gory, much more gory than the comic.
This was an episode that scared me as a child. Yeah, I was obviously watching this far too young. I must have been like 10 or 11 when it came out, and I just liked that I had access to HBO.
This is a perfect episode for a 10-year-old.
A perfect episode to just destroy my brain. Not only that, I was like, I can't wait to one day have sexual relations with a human and
be axed to death. Yeah.
I get axed to death. Like that kind of broke my brain at that age. So I do remember being frightened generally by Amanda Plummer in this. And when she goes axe murder style on everyone, I was like, oh God. Again, testament to how awesome she is and how that episode has stuck with me all these years. I can now watch it and be like, get all the subtle humor, like the that I didn't pick up on as a kid, like how amazing her husband is at being blowhard.
He is a little bit overshadowed by how great Amanda Plummer is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the episodes I really remember too from watching it the first time. This is an episode that really sticks with you for a number of reasons. If you see this a little early, it's going to stick with you.
Yes.
For a while.
I'll probably have a nightmare tonight about it.
So then he wakes up from his nightmare and Peggy is telling him it's just a nightmare. He said, what did you dream about? I dreamed about your parents and your mother murdering your father.
I dreamed your mom killed your dad.
Yes, which is an insane thing to say. An even more insane thing is her reply, which is, that's strange because that's exactly what happened. What? And I have an axe here.
Well, then she goes into the whole, this is a perfect love. And, she sets up the crazy cuckoo bananas. Like, we need to stop this moment because this is as best as it'll ever get, which is why I'm killing you. And thank you for the child that's going to be a little girl and blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, but wait, Peggy, we don't have a perfect love. I hate you.
Yeah, I was going to kill you for your money.
I was going to kill you. I brought the gun. Like, says all this stuff.
And that is a really funny turn, by the way. Like, that was when I was laughing, for sure.
Yeah, I love that moment. And it kind of diffuses, again, the fear that I had as a child as being like, oh, it's like axe murder. Like, the fact that he's just like, we don't have the perfect love. I was going to murder you. But sadly, that last-minute plea isn't going to stop what is inevitable. His murder.
And, yes. And if you thought there was a lot of blood before, there's even more with his murder.
We get into this Sam Raimi zone.
Yeah. Or Dead Alive level. I thought
Dead Alive zone.
My note was like she went full Carrie at the end there. Like she is just covered in blood and looks terrifying.
Yes, very terrifying. Again, I have that memory etched into my brain of bloody Plummer.
Amanda Plummer, she can be meek and mousy and then just really scary. I think she's on the last season of Picard as the main villain as well. Mm-hmm. And so she can do it. She can do it all. Amanda Plummer, great actor.
Yeah,
do it.
We applaud you.
Then the next day happens. Everything's cleaned up apparently.
Yeah, and Edith in this one
comes back
and gives her that sort of no more men.
She's like, I don't need any more. I have my baby. That's all that matters. And then my daughter can grow up and kill another man, and the cycle can continue forever. And we're out. We're back to the
but what's so
Crypt Keeper.
And again, he keeps it really simple. He just basically warns us to do background checks.
Yeah, it's a very sedate Crypt Keeper experience.
Yeah, beware of skeletons. Yeah. I think what's happening is because this is episode 5, I believe the immortal John Kassir, who does the voice, is going to really find his voice in the next season and sort of like bring a lot. And obviously you had mentioned in episode 1 that they're still figuring out the Crypt Keeper, what the puppet can do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, maybe just keep it short. And obviously you said it was the longest one as well.
This was, so they may have had to cut down the Crypt Keeper's banter or whatever, because this is the longest episode we've encountered so far. There may be longer ones, but I'm not sure. Anyway,
but overall, loved it.
Overall, this is a good one. One of the better ones from the first season. I think definitely outshines the last episode. Is back to the high standards of Tales from the Crypt. Our episode today is brought to you by Trog Battle Axes.
Hello, Trog is now here.
Okay, tell them about the axes, Trog.
Oh yes, axes. Trog battle axes.
Hey, wow, watch where you swing that.
Quiet you. Trog make battle axes cut off head good. But now, battle axe not just for battle. See? Also, Trog find this very funny. Mother-in-law already called Battle Axe. His old saying, very famous.
You cannot make that joke about your wife's mother, Trog.
It is not joke about her. It joke about words. She is Battle Axe. Trog now also sell Battle Axe. Same name, two things.
Okay, so why would anyone need to buy a second one?
For their mother-in-law. Trog already own his. Free, no charge, come with marriage. Not sure which one more dangerous.
No, or just tell them what they can do with the axes now.
Yes, Trog just about to say that before rudely interrupted by Tiny Man. Battle Axe, not just for battle, now can be beautiful decoration above fireplace. Be envy of all enemies with Trog Battle Axe on display in home. It's pretty, see?
Trog, they can't see anything. This is radio.
Great! See? Axe still good for battle and pretty to look at. It two things for one price. Come to Trog's, buy for family and friends. Trog now done talking.
Trog Battle Axe is suggested for decorative use only. Side effects may include sudden urge to conquer neighboring villages, the ringing of war horns in one's ears, and unexplained pillaging. Not for sale in Utah and Canada. Trog is a registered trademark of Trog Industries Incorporated. All rights reserved. Yeah, and with that, I believe we can close the crypt on the episode and move on into a vault of more. Vault of More, which is the portion of the episode where Fred and I, after discussing both the comic and the episode, are inspired to find something that it reminded us, made us think of, and recommend it to not only each other, but to you, the listener out there. Did you go first last time?
I went first last time, so it's your turn this time.
I'm excited about this one.
All right, great.
Because I'm hoping you didn't pick this one because you might have had similar sights. I'm keeping it in the family here and wanted to go with another Psycho Plumber, which was my favorite performance by Christopher Plummer, father to Amanda Plummer, as a psychopath that blew my mind when I watched his performance in The Silent Partner. That movie blows my mind.
Yes. As soon as you said Psycho Christopher Plummer, I immediately thought Silent Partner, because he plays, I think, one of the most evil villains ever put on screen in a movie I don't think a lot of people have seen.
No, I only saw it 5 years ago when I heard it on, I think, Pure Cinema podcast, or the guys over there were talking about it. And this was such a treasure to find. And then there's a Blu-ray that came out on Kino Lorber that I believe they were kind of talking about.
Yeah, it's also on the Criterion channel for all you super film nerds that subscribe to that, which I don't know if there's going to be any overlap to our listening audience and that. But it's
hopefully
it's terrific. Early Curtis Hanson screenplay and co-directing unofficially on it.
Yes, we got that. I have that story to tell, and that there is one pivotal scene that is so violent, and first of all, there's it's also a Christmas horror movie, I guess, because the beginning is he's
I wouldn't call it a horror.
Here's a
horror film, but give us
horror
the concept.
Adjacent.
Thriller.
All right, so Elliot Gould is the star of this movie, and Christopher Plummer plays a mall Santa who, at the beginning of the movie, robs a bank inside the mall. As he's robbing the bank, Elliot Gould is the cashier, and he's pocketing the money for himself. So we've got two criminals here, and Chris Plummer gets away and figures out that his money was pretty much taken by the guy that was supposed to give him the money. And it becomes a revenge tale or cat and mouse of basically Plummer stalking Elliot Gould and just causing hell to him. And Elliot's got to respond. And there's a moment where he's dressed up as a woman too. He's taking on all these disguises to just infiltrate. There's the scariest shot in the movie, which is when he goes to Elliot Gould's apartment and looks through the mail slot of the door, and it's just basically the eyes. I took this freeze frame, and the eyes of him staring at Elliot Gould and saying all the crap he's going to do to him and how he's out for him before he runs off into the night is so chilling. And it has also one of the most gruesome I guess it's a beheading. I guess we could say that. Is that a spoiler?
It's a spoiler. I think you're spoiling this a little too much, but because this should be a little. It's fantastic, but they don't make them like this anymore. 1970s.
Yep.
Brutal theater thriller. Christopher Plummer's character is terrifying. Also, just like the worst. So is like a thorough misogynist and just violent towards women specifically throughout this whole movie.
In the one sequence that was Curtis Hanson jumped in on it, right?
Yes, that's the rumor. I think it's established. I don't know, but he directed some of this movie. He'd go on to do L.A. Confidential and all those other things.
Right, Wonder Boys. Also, early John Candy role. Like he plays like someone that works at the bank with.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's so sweet, innocent John Candy.
Great. Yeah.
But anyways, I love this movie, and just 3 cheers to the Plummer lineage for giving 2 performances from father and daughter that frightened me.
Great recommendation. I wholeheartedly agree. Silent Partner is a hidden gem. I'm also keeping it in the family by recommending a book by Michael McDowell called Blackwater from 1983. It was originally released as 6 separate little short chapbooks.
Okay.
Which
in like a magazine or something?
No, it was a failed experiment, basically. They did this also with the Green Mile, if you remember that. They originally released the Green Mile as little, you could buy them at the supermarket kind of thing. And so they tried that with this. It's a Southern Gothic, long epic novel that he wrote. It's since been collected. You can now get it in either I have it as a 2-volume set or as a 1-volume paperback. It follows the wealthy Caskey family of Perdido, Alabama over 50 years, focusing on their lives after the mysterious and beautiful Eleanor Damerett arrives, who harbors a supernatural secret connected to the local river. The story blends epic family drama, power struggles, and Southern culture with chilling supernatural horror featuring a shape-shifting river monster and other dark events.
Oh, wow.
Really great. I think McDowell's an underrated novelist. I've read a few of his books and short stories. I think this is sort of his best of the ones I've encountered.
Seems like he was obviously gone too soon. He could have come on to write more of this stuff, too.
Yeah, what a talent. I mean, just Beetlejuice alone and Nightmare Before, those are just incredible feats of writing. And this book is also, if you like Widow's Bay, which I think we've both talked about what a fan we are.
Yes, are both big fans of it. Yeah.
This is similar, but picture it in a southern town instead of a coastal East Coast island,
right. The tone is similar.
The tone is a little similar. I mean, it's steeped in like that Gothic kind of Faulkner legend of this, where it's the swamp creature plays a part. It's interesting. I think you'll like it. It's very, I wouldn't say there's a lot of horror in it. It's much more supernatural and almost fantasy for a lot of it. But very enjoyable because you don't know where it's going, and it also takes a long time for it to gestate. It's a 50-year story that finally.
Oh, wow. Has it ever been adapted or attempted to be adapted?
As far as I know, it hasn't, but it would make a great, I think, miniseries would be, it would be a fun, 6-episode miniseries, because you could adapt every one of those little chapter books the way it's
already set up as an outline almost.
So,
that's
awesome.
My
recommendation.
Is it available now?
Oh yeah.
Is it I can get it? It's not out of print or anything?
It's not out of print. It came back into print as a single volume. There's a trade paperback of it. That's pretty
cool.
easily obtained.
Look at us keeping it in the family.
Keeping it in the
I love
family.
it.
And if you want to keep it in the family,
you can find us. We are at It Hails from the Crypt on Instagram. It Hails from the Crypt at TikTok, which we need to get some content up there. Or you can find us at Gmail at It Hails from the Crypt at gmail.com. And with that, I think we're going to pick up with the last episode of season 1 as our next episode,
which I'm really looking forward to because it's got some great stuff in there.
It's got some talent in there, a wonderful director and 2 wonderful actors that play off each other extremely well that I'm excited to talk about.
Yes, very fun. But until then, we remain.
We will reign.
In the crypt. In the crypt. In the crypt.
Door shut. Cue music.
Bye. Bye.